Hello everyone, Jeremy here from Flatware Creations. Today we are going to be making refrigerator magnets. So what I have done is kind of cheated a little bit, and I've taken and just cut off the pieces I need to make the handles, or to make this end. These, I normally take them off and they end up like this. And what I can do with this is put it on a spoon or anything really and solder it down, and it can be used as a vase, bud vase or anything. I can't believe I wasn't shaking enough to make that drop. But this is what I ended up with. We have 20 of these guys to make. They are very easy. After I cut them off, I put them into the belt sander just to get them cleaned up. Let's see. So it's nice and clean. There's no sharp surfaces or anything. We are going to be using E6000 today, and I'm going to be using some galvanized wire and some old flour bits and pieces because there's metal in it. This is what I started out with, and we're going to be using a bunch of neodymium magnets. Hope I said that right. This is what I'm using. Come on, focus. There we go. So on my phone, I have the information for this one. Let's see. Nope, not that one. There we go. This one is rated 3.36 pounds of pressure, so they will stick. I hate putting the refrigerator magnet up and then you get one or two pieces of paper and it starts sliding down. So these guys stick very well. I have used stronger magnets, and with stronger magnets you run into the possibility of the magnet actually pulling away from it because the glue or the epoxy hasn't been able to hold them because there's so much force. But these I found are great. The other thing is, if you put them up too high, they kind of are off balance. If you put them down too low, they tip and wobble and don't really stick. So I try and get my half, and then I try and go half again. So that's half of the whole thing. Split that in half, and that should be about where my piece is. What we're going to do is we're going to put a drop of glue on here. We're going to put our magnet on there, and then we're going to kind of hold our magnet, and we're going to put one of these pieces of wire in there. The magnet is going to stick to the wire, and then I'll show you what we can do to make sure that this magnet is sticking where we want it. And once we get this stuck, it's actually forcing the magnet into the glue and into the piece. We've just put it on a blank thing. Normally I have a plastic piece for this, but today I don't, and this will fit in my drawer. You just want to make sure that you put it somewhere where it's not going to get bumped or slid around or something. So I'm going to put mine in my drawer back here. Get that open. Oh, and this is just galvanized wire. You can get this any farm and home type shop. It's just regular galvanized wire. This stuff is really cheap, but like I said, these green ones, these were just pieces of plastic flowers that I cut the stems off of, And they should be about 2 inches. Yeah, about 2 inches is good. These are also cut at 2 inches. We're going to want a little bit of the piece to stick out, but we also want enough in there to where we can move that magnet around. So let's get started. I showed you the magnets. We have 20 of these to do, and I'm going to try and go through them pretty quickly so I can get them drying, and they will be ready for the refrigerator tomorrow. And the longer they sit, the better it is. So open. This thing of E6000 has lasted me a long time. I do have links in the description. They are affiliate links. So if you buy something from one of the links, I get like half a cent maybe. It all helps. Okay, so I got my E6000 here. Get that cleaned up. I'm gonna get you guys off of me and down here so you can see what I'm doing. I can work right. Here's where you need to be. Let me get the autofocus shut off. There we go. So if I stay right here, hi Gabby, hi Gabby. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Let me get you a little bit more back here. There we go. All right, so I've got my magnets here. The easiest way to get these magnets off is to slide them off. If you try pulling these apart, it's really hard. So slide them off. We're gonna want this guy right about here. And if you look, it went inside. Come on. There we go. I got it. Let's get that one out of here. So we're going to start with our drop of glue. And I'm going to put my drop of glue right about here. And then I kind of squish this so that the glue comes back into here. Now we're going to take our magnet, and I'm just going to put it right over the top of that. Just kind of lightly squeeze it down, and I'm just putting the magnet in there. So let me get this autofocus back on. I'm going to show you how this moves. So by pushing this back with your finger, if you move it side to side, the magnet will move side to side. So if it's not quite center, okay, so right there we're about center, right about where I want to be. You can take, where'd it go? You can take either a toothpick, which is preferred, just kind of run that up. So I'm not trying to get the glue on top of the magnet. I'm just trying to get it to go up the wall a little bit. What this does is it helps it to grab later on. So it's just one more thing to help force it down. So this one, where'd you go? I have it on autofocus. So you can kind of see how I pulled it up the edges there. You don't want it on the top. And all of this, once it dries, will be almost invisible. So there's one. Let's go for the next one. And you want enough glue that it's going to squish down well, but at the same time it's not going to be so much glue that you have huge cleanup. So you guys can see this. I just kind of toss it in there. Now I can move it back with my, I don't know if you guys can see that good. So by moving my wire here, I can move the magnet back and forth to the left or the right. So that helps me get it nice and centered. Grab yourself a toothpick, and we're just lifting up on this. Just kind of grabbing the excess that was squished out. And I'm just bringing it up. Okay, that one's done. And repeat. Hi Jeff. Hi Emily. Sorry, I wasn't looking up at my chat. There we go. Yep, we're making refrigerator magnets today. One of the easiest things to make. The hardest part was finding good magnets. I always like things to be as bulletproof as I can make them. And these magnets have done a great job for me for a long time. Take our wire, pop it in there. We can push our magnet back where we want it. And again, side to side. So if it's not perfectly where you want it, just move your piece over. That's pretty center. So I don't have a toothpick, but this is a brass rod, so that's what I'm using. Just kind of grab that excess, push it into the magnet, and then just kind of go up the edge a little bit. That helps give the glue a little bit more surface area to hold on to it. Some of them, like this, that have a, let's get back here, that has these ridges, you want to use a little bit more glue because we have to fill that spot. Grab a magnet. And I'm just going to push this in there real quick. It is right where I want it. There you go. And now, same thing. Just grab that extra stuff. And like I said, a toothpick works a lot nicer. But this is doing an okay job for me. This does two things. It helps make sure that your piece doesn't have a ton of glue hanging around it, and it gives it more more adhesion area. So we have 20 of these to do. After I cut them yesterday, I put them in the tumbler, let the tumbler clean them up, smooth them out. Oh, I want that back there. So I'm just bumping that over a little bit. Because the pattern has those flowers on it, it doesn't want to go, it wants to try and slide off the flowers. So that little bar in there really helps. You can also use stainless fork tines. If you have a bunch of stainless fork tines, they're generally long enough to do this. The other thing is you don't want these positioned really close to one another because the magnets are super strong. They will fly together, and you want to have them separated for sure. I accidentally did that to one, and the pressure from one of them actually went slammed against this one, slammed against this one, and it took out an entire row that I had to do reinstall the magnets. So we have a fun one coming up. So this guy right here, you want to make sure that you have enough glue to hold down the piece. I'm going to push that right back to where I want it. Okay, and it's in the middle. Let's just clean up this glue edge here. And because you have a piece of metal in there, it is going to stay right there. I like to let mine sit at least a day, but the longer they get to sit, the better. If you did them like a week in advance, you should have no problem with them coming undone. Okay, so this piece has a dimple in it. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to add quite a bit of extra glue to fill that gap. Don't need to go really crazy on it, but you want to make sure that that magnet has enough glue on it. I want a longer one for this. See how it pulled right over? I want this back here. There we go. So that's center. See how much it moved that glue around? That is going to happen, especially on ones like this. So again, we're just picking up the glue. And if you really have a lot of glue, just take your fingers. You can pull some of that extra out. After about 10 minutes with this stuff, it will become tacky and sticky, and if you try and separate it then, you're going to actually pull up almost all the glue. Okay. I don't like sticky or tacky, but what's nice is this stuff rubs off pretty easy. Magnet. And I have my magnets just hanging off my grinder. There we go. Sometimes I'll even put the magnet on there and then just give it a little twist. But that's really messy for me today, so I'm just going to put this in here, push that guy back to where I want it. Okay. Get all the extra glue that slid over there. Alright, so that one looks good. Does anybody have any questions? And like I said, that glue coming up the side is a pretty big deal. It gives you that, well, it gives me that extra warm, fuzzy feeling because I know that there's a lot of glue holding onto it. Okay, let's keep going. I try and get all of these cleaned and prepped. Also, if you notice that you have a lot of extra glue, try making your drops a little bit smaller. Bring that up there. Just try and make sure my cord, my microphone cord doesn't get caught up down there in the glue. Okay, we need glue. This guy on there. There you go, that one came out really nice. And you kind of see how all the glue went around in a nice halo. Oh, you know what I have? Oh no, I don't have one up there anymore. So we're just pushing it back towards the magnet and lifting up. There we go. So some of the knives that I was sent for these were filled, and those are super challenging. So I added a couple of really pretty rose patterns. There we go. And then you just let OCD take over and do everything exactly the same every time. Just wipe off a little bit of excess. The nice part is this stuff dries clear. They do make this stuff in different color, or not colors, but different different numbers, like E7000, E8000 or something. I know that those have to deal with the type of glue, but I've had the E6000 work great for me for years and years and years now. I put the E6000, I normally don't glue in my stones, but I had one stone that was just not quite, I couldn't quite get it to be perfectly held. So I put a little E6000 on there, and then the piece never, hi darling, the piece never sold. So I'm like, alright, I'll take the stone off and turn it into something else. Well, that did not happen. Trying to get that stone off, I broke the stone into 3 different pieces. It just did not want to come off, and that was on there for about a year. So I have lots of confidence once this stuff has a chance to cure. It does great. Okay, let's see, I have 5 more left to do, and then I could put all of these in the drawer. I think I can get 3 done before it starts to set. Oh, I forgot to shut off the autofocus for you guys. I'm sorry. Alright. Let's start with this guy. Just make sure those magnets don't get too close together. Get that up there. So again, I'm pushing it in and then kind of bringing it up the side a little bit. There's 3 more to go. Let's see if I can get them all fit on this tray. What I have done before also is after these have cured up for about an hour, is I've taken and stuck them to a steel bar. I mean, and you could probably do it with this method, but I like to make sure that my magnet is center first. There we go. All right, 2 left to go. We got this. All right. The hardest part about some of these is the shape of the spoon or fork handle, because some, like this one, has a ridge right where we want. Oh no, I glued myself. Right where we want the magnet to sit in the middle sits right on a line or some part of the pattern that doesn't want to be where we want it to be, and that's where I want that to sit. Okay, we got one left. We can do this, people. All right. So I'm gonna hold this one down a little bit and just kind of roll that in there. Nope, Gus, you can't get up here, buddy. Not today. Ah! Okay, so that one I had to adjust by hand because of the big valley. You can't come up, buddy. I got a tray full of magnets. Nope. Nope, Gus. Gus is trying to come up. Okay, so it doesn't look like I have enough glue on this one, but I actually have glue going up the sides. And I have full glue going up around on the middles. So I'm going to put these like this. Bring you guys up here so you can see what I do with them. Hey Gus, how you doing? Okay, very carefully. Okay, so we're going in on top of the rings. Oh, we did it. They're in there. Now if we can get it to close. Yes. Woohoo! We did it. We did it. We got all of them in there. And this is the face of, forgot one. All right, let's try this again. All right, hi Gus, hi buddy. All right, I gotta get one more done. Mwah. There you go. Grab another magnet. And I'm just going to hold it a little bit. There we go. Double check my middle. And like I said, you don't want to get it on top of the magnet because that's where it's going to be touching the refrigerator or whatever metal it is. Because it will make it offset. There we go. That's good. Now let's see if I can open the drawer. All right. Yes. All right. That was fun. We have, I always make these metal pieces. They're about 2 inches long. Some of them are a little longer, but most of them are about 2 inches long. That gives you enough room to be able to put the magnets on. or to be able to get to where the magnets are, so they have something to pull them down into the glue. And like I said, this is what we're using. There we go, from K&J Magnetics. It is an N42, which is the second most powerful magnets that you can get. I think it's N52 that are really strong. But like I said, these have 3 point something pounds of pressure. Where'd it go? 3.36 pounds of pressure of pull force. Always get some extras. I'm going to make 2 bud vases out of these, and then I have a whole bunch of these little pieces that we punched out the other day. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a challenge for tonight. And then I have some more rings to make, and it's going to be a busy night. But I just wanted to show you that these magnets are easy to make. You can cut the handles off with a rotary tool. You can cut them off the hacksaw. You can use the bandsaw like I do. I just like to finish them off with a belt sander or a file to get those teeth marks out of there. Toss them in the tumbler, or use a fiber wheel. Will take off a lot of the sharp spots. So I hope that helps you guys. We'll keep this video short. Where are we at? 37 minutes, under 40 minutes. Woohoo, live. If you guys haven't yet, please subscribe. I will have a few more lives coming up as I get these orders worked on. And I do have a new video coming out. It was for a special order. All I have to do is add music to it, and it's just about done. So look forward to that. Hit the bell. You'll get notified whenever that comes out. Other than that, I think that's it. Thank you guys for saying hi, Emily, Jeff, and Darlene. I really appreciate it. It doesn't look like I'm sitting here talking to myself. So I will see you guys later.